Hello and welcome to PMCLounge.com. My name is Shoaib. I'm the voice behind all the videos that you see on the PMCLounge.com website as well as our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/PMCLounge. Now, I was going about answering your YouTube comments, and if you have ever dropped a comment on the PMC Lounge, on any PMC Lounge video on our YouTube channel, of course, you know that I do respond to comments. 95% of the comments on our channel have a response from me. So I do respond to as many comments as possible. And one of the questions that I keep responding to and I keep repeating, and I'll share some screenshots on this video, you will see them right now. These are basically comments that talk about how someone has done some kind of course from their school, from their college, and in their bachelor's degree, in their master's degree, and they want to understand if this course is good enough to claim the 35 contact hours that are mandatorily required to appear for the PMP exam. So I thought, the PMI website, it doesn't necessarily say that you have to have 35 contact hours from so and so institute, right? There used to be REPs earlier, registered education providers. Their name has now changed, but PMI does not say that you have to go to these institutes to get your contact hours, and only then you will be eligible for the PMP exam. So what does the PMI website say? Let me share my screen and show you around. So here's the PMI website, and if you go to certifications and then over to PMP, you will obviously find the certification requirements. So if you scroll down, you will see the prerequisites for your PMP exam, and it mentions a 4-year degree, 36 months leading projects, 35 hours of project management education training, or CAPM certification. Now, of course, if you don't have a 4-year degree and you have high school diploma or an associate's degree, then you need 60 months leading projects and 35 hours of project management education or training, or the CAPM certification. Now, nowhere here does it say that you have to go to a specific institute or a specific school to get your 35 hours of project management education or training. That means even if you have studied project management at your college level, you should ideally be able to claim 35 hours of education because you got that education when you were studying in your college, in your school, in any institute, right? So you should ideally be able to claim those hours under this prerequisite. Now, where does the problem arrive? The problem arrive where you might not have specific documentation to prove that you've had these 35 hours of project management education or training. Because if you go and get yourselves the 35-hour classes that you can get online, you can get offline as well, they'll give you a specific certificate that says that you have attended so and so class and you now have the 35 hours of project management education. But in your college, if you've had, let's say you've done your bachelor's degree and you've had one of the projects, one of the subjects as project management, do you have a specific certificate that says that you have spent 35 hours studying project management? If not, then there could be an issue. Now, it is not a guarantee that there is definitely going to be an issue, but there could be an issue. What is the worst that could happen? The worst that could happen is your application ends up in a PMI audit. And this is the handbook, the PMI handbook, which you can obviously go about, and you should be able to find it here. The handbook. So this is the handbook that I was talking about. So in the audit process, what it says is, if your application is selected for an audit, during the audit, you will be asked to submit supporting documentation, the copies of your diploma or whatever global equivalent that you have had, which was the first requirement to be eligible for the PMP exam, right? So copies of this you will be required to submit. You would be required to submit signatures from your supervisor or manager from the projects recorded in the experience verification section of the application. Now, of course, you need either 36 months leading projects or you need 60 months leading projects. So whoever your supervisor or manager was, they need to sign and give you a proof that you've actually led those projects. And finally, in the 35 hours of project management education or training, what PMI wants you to submit is copies of certificates and or letters from the training institutes for each course. Now, you might have recorded, let's say, multiple courses. You might have attended 7 different courses, giving you 5 hours of project management education. So you need to submit the copies of certificates or letters from the training institutes for each course recorded on the application to meet the required contact hours of professional education. So this is something that you need to submit. So then here's my question to you. If your application were to be selected for an audit and you had claimed those contact hours based on your studies in your college, in your school, in your institute, would you be able to get those copies and submit them to PMI? Get those copies as proof and then submit them to PMI to be able to claim that you have those 35 hours of project management education. If you think you will be able to do something like that, then I would say it's pretty safe to claim those subjects that you might have read in your school or college as project management education and claim those 35 hours. But if you think that you will not be able to submit those copies if your application is selected for an audit, then my suggestion would be to not claim 35 contact hours as the subjects that you might have studied in your school or college. So that's all that I had in this video. I hope I was able to clarify what kind of courses, subjects that you have read in your school or college can you use to claim 35 contact hours required for your PMP exam. So that's all in this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Hit the bell icon to stay notified every time we upload new content. And don't forget to smash that like button if you enjoyed this video. Thank you and have a nice day.